You are all welcome. Today we are going to be looking at what we are supposed to do in order to prevent negative energies from coming to our homes, even to your place of work, to your business premises. We are sharing this world with a lot of forces, a lot of energies. We are human beings, and there are things we can see and the things we cannot see. There are things we can welcome, there are people we can welcome, and there are those that we cannot welcome. But then there are forces, there are energies that can force their ways into our lives and into our homes and business premises. And when these energies visit us, they will turn our own positive energy into a negative energy. And that is when you will start experiencing negativity in your life and everything you are doing. So today we are going to be looking at how to stop those energies from penetrating, because you cannot see them with your two eyes, but you will only see their manifestation, what they are doing in your home, what they are doing in your place of work. Whenever we talk about negative energies, it is not all about you staying with negative people, with people who do not mean well for you. It's not all about that. Yes, those people, they have their own negative energies. When you are sensitive, spiritually sensitive, whenever you find yourself in a gathering, you are going to attract a lot of energies, both positive and negative. And if you know how to handle them, that is when you can discard the negative energies and make use of the positive ones. Today we are talking about how these negative energies affects us. As someone who is living in his or her own home, whether it is your house or in a rented apartment, maybe when you moved in, everything has been going well for you, and all of a sudden, everything started crashing. Now, before we look at this matter, there are so many factors that can cause this, spiritually and physically. Now, when it comes to physical factors, of course, you yourself will know that one because you are the one living in that house. So you know how to handle this. But we are going to be looking at the spiritual factors that can cause someone to suffer from negative energies that penetrated and found their way into your life and into your homes. If you have moved into an apartment or into a business premises, you own an office or a shop or whatsoever, and after some time you started experiencing negativity, there are so many factors that I want you to look at. First, I always ask people the foundation of the house, the foundation of that shop, of that office, of that business premises. How clean is that foundation? So many foundations of so many buildings are not spiritually clean. There are a lot of evil practices that were performed on the land before the structures were raised up. And when these structures are raised up and then other people will come in to stay there, the negative energies will rise to disturb you. They will rise to bring you down because you are coming into that apartment with a different energy than the one that has already been erected in that house. So no matter what you do in life, it will always conflict with that energy in that house. So the foundation of the house is one of the factors. Another problem is if that house is haunted, if that business premises is haunted, this is another problem that will attract nothing but negative energy for you. Now, when houses are haunted, it means that these houses have swallowed a lot of human blood. A lot of lives have been lost in these houses. And these lives are not just people that passed away naturally. They are people whose lives were taken forcefully. And that place happened to be their final resting place, in as much as they will be taken to their different homes, different villages to be buried, but that place happens to be the place they breathed their last breath. And so that place is supposed to be haunted because they will keep on haunting that house, disturbing every occupant of that building. And there is nothing you will do in that house to succeed, or in that shop, in that business premises to succeed, that will work for you. They will never work for you because these spirits are not pure spirits. They are actually evil spirits disturbing you. And the solution to this is for you to move out. That is the solution. When it comes to this case, in a house being haunted, the solution is for you to move out of that house. Now, another factor we are looking at right now, which I want to talk to us about, when we talk about the negative energies that finds their way in our homes, these are the energies that we attract from people. When you go out, you mix with a lot of people. There are people whose energies are stronger than the other person. And maybe you happen to be the one whose energy is not strong. And every now and then you go out, you mix with a lot of people. You come in contact with so many energies. And these energies will swallow yours. And when you come back home, you are coming back home with those negative energies. And they will start manifesting in your home. That is when you see couples start hating on each other for no reason. You see so many homes breaking for no reason. The husband will be accusing the wife will be accusing the husband. Both couples will be thinking that they are cheating on each other. Meanwhile, something like that might not be happening. But it is because of the negative energy that both of them has brought into their homes without knowing it. And these energies will affect their relationship. It will affect their lifestyle. It will affect their families. It will affect their means of income. And you know, whenever someone's means of income is tampered with, that is when frustration and every other thing negative steps in. And if you don't know how to handle it, you become frustrated. And a lot of negative things will start happening. So we are looking at these type of negative forces, the ones that we have attracted outside, and the ones that people have projected to us. There are people that will visit your home. They are your best friends. They are your family members. They mean well to you. That is, according to you, they mean well. But whenever these people visit your home and leave, after a little while, you start noticing a lot of things happening. A lot of things that will make you to question what the problem is. There are people who will visit your home. They are not coming to harm you, but because they are diabolical in nature, the presence of those negative forces with them will contradict with the force that is in your home. And that is when you start having problems. So whenever you find yourself in this situation, I always advise people, first of all, prayer. Learn how to pray. Learn how to pray. And in this situation, the midnight prayer is the easiest way out. When you start engaging yourself and engaging your family in a midnight prayer, you will start seeing solution to those problems. But whenever we talk about midnight prayer, people believe that midnight prayer must start from 12 a.m. That's not correct. Your midnight prayer can start from 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. By past 12, 1, you are supposed to end your midnight prayer, except you want to any time that you want to extend it to. Your midnight prayer is supposed to start by 10 p.m. The reason we start by this time, by 10 p.m. or 10:30 or 11 p.m. is because by this time, those negative forces are up. They are up and out. And they will start manifesting. They will start operating. This is the time they normally operate. By that 12:1, they are already on their way out, because the morning is already coming. They don't have anything to do with morning. They prefer night. That is why it's advisable for you to start your midnight prayer from 10 to 10:30 to 11 p.m. in the night. Now, it depends on when you want to end it. A lot of people prefer to end their midnight prayer by 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not bad. But when you start it around 10, 10:30, 11 p.m., even if you end it by 12:30, it is good. If you end it by 12, it is good. At that time, your prayer is now fighting that bad forces. So midnight prayer is the easy way out. Midnight prayer. And when you pray, when you are engaging yourself in midnight prayer is not all about you shouting and calling on God and calling on angels and repeating your prayers like every now and then without stopping. When you pray, you stop, you pause, you listen, you meditate on the prayers that you have said. You must definitely get an answer when you concentrate. Our problem is we do not concentrate whenever we are praying. We do not concentrate. Our minds will be moving up and down, going from left to right. All you know that is that your mouth is praying, but your mind is not at rest. It's not, at a place. It is wandering about. When you are praying and you concentrate, after some time you pause. Meditate on the prayers you have said. Ask God to tell you what He wants to tell you. Ask Him to show you what the problem is, the cause of the problem and the solution. Most of the times, those of us who are gifted with the gift of dreams, after that prayer and you ask this question, by the time you go back to sleep, you are going to get the solution to that problem. You are going to get the answer to that question in your dreams. If you have ever practiced it this way, after your prayers, you ask God to reveal the origin of the problem. Not just revealing the origin of the problem, but showing you the solution. You ask Him these questions. If you are gifted to hear Him, you will hear Him. Yeah, people believe that no one can hear God. It's not true. We are still hearing His voice. We still hear Him till date. That God that spoke to Moses and Elijah and those that we didn't know is still speaking to us today. Our problem is, will you pay attention? Will you concentrate? Because it is only when you concentrate and pay attention that you can hear Him. When your mind is wandering left and right, you will not hear Him, because you will not know when He's talking to you. So for those who are gifted to hear Him, after asking Him that question, when you calm down, you are going to hear Him. For those who are gifted with the gift of dreams, after the question, when you go to bed, He must definitely give you the answer to your prayers in your dreams. Now, the problem here is, when you wake up, do you believe in your dreams? So many of us know that whenever we dream, our dreams comes to pass, but then we call it ordinary dreams, and we never put to practice whatever we see in our dreams. We don't do that, because to us it is just an ordinary dream, except when it comes to pass, you now tell everybody that you saw something like this in the dream. It doesn't make sense anymore at that time. So if you are gifted, God will talk to you. God will hear you. Even if you are not gifted, you will definitely see the solution to the problem. Now, apart from midnight prayer, there is still another way to stop these negative forces from interacting with the positive forces surrounding you. You stop the negative forces from penetrating into your homes. And what is that way? That way is you getting sea salt. Sounds so easy, but that is the other way. Get your sea salt. But remember, a lot of us prefer jumping into the practical without prayers. That is why I said initially that prayer remains the number one. Because before you practice this, you must pray. You have to pray. But I'm teaching us because I have received that teaching and I have done it. And that is why I am here to teach us. But you must pray. And then you get your sea salt and you pray over the sea salt. And after that sea salt, I want you to drop the sea salt, that is little quantities, at the edge of every corner in your house, inside your house. If you are living in that house alone, if the house is yours alone, or it is a rented apartment, but you are living in it alone without other tenants, you can practice this inside your house. You can still practice it outside your house. You drop the sea salt at the edge of every corner in your home, in your house. And when you come outside, assuming you are staying alone, when you come outside your house, that sea salt, you are going to sprinkle it across the door, the entrance door to your house. If you happen to have the back door and the front door, you are going to sprinkle that sea salt. Let it cross your door, the front door and the back door. And if you happen to have a gate, a central gate for you alone. You are going to sprinkle it on that gate. Now, what is the work of that sea salt? It is not just sea salt that can do this. If you can find that natural salt, you know, there is a difference between the salt we use in cooking and the natural salt and the sea salt. The sea salt, everybody knows the sea salt it looks like a rice, but white in color. Now, the natural salt looks like the salt we use in cooking, but this is the salt. From information that I've gotten, this type of salt was used by our forefathers in cooking. It doesn't contain, it is not an iodized salt. It is just a natural salt gotten from stream. Now, when they get this salt, sometimes they will mold it and then they will burn it. That is why when you see the salt, you see some part of that salt ash in color or black in color, because it has been refined in the fire. If you can get that natural salt, it is okay, just as good as that sea salt, but not the iodized salt that we use in cooking. But if you cannot get that natural salt, get the sea salt. You pray over that salt. Now remember, while you are sprinkling the salt or while you are dropping it at the edge of every corner in your house, make sure you command that sea salt. I always use the word command because God created everything in this world and gave them to us. He gave everything to us to control them, to be in charge, to look over them. Okay? So you are supposed to take charge. You are supposed to be the boss. Not when you are praying, you will be begging the sea salt. You are not supposed to beg. You are the boss. You are commanding nature. That is what it is. You are commanding nature to work for you, and nature is there to answer you. Nature is there to help you out. But nature will not do anything for you if you do not command. If you do not command nature, it will not work for you. So you have to command that sea salt. While you are dropping the sea salt, whatever it is you know you are passing through, that whenever somebody visits you, things will turn upside down in your home. That whenever you go out and come in, for no reason you become angry, and you will transfer that aggression to every member of your household, and before you know it, quarrel will start. You are going to say all these things while praying, and you are commanding the sea salt before you drop those sea salt. A lot of people will come up now to ask me, is this in the Bible? Is this what God says we should do? Forgetting that God remains eternal now. There are so many miracles that have taken place in our present generation which never took place in the olden days. Why? Because Christ said that those who are coming after him will perform more miracles than him, and he has given us those powers to perform the miracle. Now, when it comes to salt, what is the work of salt? The work of salt is to neutralize every negative force, every negativity, no matter how that negative power is. Whether the ones that are buried on the ground, or the ones that are sprinkled, or the ones that were, however they will throw it into the air, the work of the salt is to neutralize the negative energies. That is what salt does for us. But because we are spiritually blind, we do not know all these things about nature. That is why it looks as if when you are practicing it, a lot of people will tell you that you are practicing evil. It is not evil. It has been there a long time ago. These are natural things that God created. And everything that God created has its own power and what it is doing. The problem is, how can you recognize them? You can only recognize them if you are spiritually gifted. Some of these nature will come to you, these natural items will come to those who are spiritually gifted to tell them what they do, their work, the work that God has assigned to them. And all this work that God has assigned to them is for the good of humanity. So you have to place that sea salt at the edge of every corner in your house. And if the house belongs to you, after doing it inside the house, you still go outside and do it again. For those people who always come to your home, and after they leave, you start experiencing downfall, you start experiencing a lot of trauma, a lot of negative things, such will prevent such people from coming. And even if they try to come, even if they come with those their negative energies, with those their charms, that salt on the floor, when you pour it there, it will still be there. But remember that after some time, it will dissolve. And once it dissolves, it enters into the ground. It remains there. As long as that person is going to cross over your door, once the person crosses over your door, all those negative energies has been neutralized. You will no longer experience it. And when you start practicing this thing, you will notice that a lot of people will start coming to your house. A lot of people will stop coming to your office. A lot of people will stop coming to your business premises, because these people with these negative energies or these charms, they know better than those of us who are clean. They know that when they come to your shop or to your house or to your office, they are going to cross over that salt and it's going to neutralize their powers. So they will stop coming. That is the work of salt. You are going to lose a lot of people, but whenever you stop losing people, please do not bother yourself. Do not ask why. Whenever anybody stops contacting you, stops coming to your house, stops coming to your shop, to your office, please don't bother calling that person. Allow the person to move away. Your spirit is not matching with that person's spirit. Your energy is contradicting with the person's energy. So you don't have to, whatever that God has allowed to go away from your life, you don't have to bring that thing back. Because will it happen? Yes. You are going to lose some people. You are going to lose friends. Those who you called your friends, you thought they were your friends. You are going to lose them. But when you lose them, you haven't lost anything. You didn't lose anything. You are actually paving the way forward for yourself and for your family. So this is what you're supposed to practice to stop attracting negative energies. Even if you attract them outside, when you come into your home, those energies will no longer function in your home, because the salt that you have placed on the floor will neutralize those energies. But remember, like I said, you must pray. You must pray. If you don't know how to pray, learn how to pray. And I always tell us, prayer is not all about you praying for 10 hours, 20 hours, 1 hour. No, if you're going to pray for 10 minutes, let that 10 minutes be a very serious prayer. And when you are praying to God, you must learn how to subdue yourself. Bring yourself low. Bring yourself so low and let God arise. When you are praying to God, you must learn how to talk to God like the way you talk to your earthly parents. When you are praying to God, you must learn how to open up, pour out your heart. There is no formality in prayer. There is nothing like formality. If you feel like doing it like a means of conversation, you do it. Yeah, there are a lot of people that praise this way. When you see them, you think they are soliloquizing. You think they are conversing with somebody else, an unseen person. But they are actually talking to God. Such prayers are coming from the deepest part of the heart. So you must pray. Don't just jump into that practice. Don't just jump into it, because for that thing to work for you, you must pray and command that salt. Salt is nature. You command it to work for you. When God is teaching you something, those of us who are spiritually gifted, you can bear me this witness. When God is teaching you something, when He's teaching, He will be showing you. I don't know if you have noticed that. When God is telling you something, as you are hearing what He's saying, He will be showing you that thing and you will be seeing it. And that is the practical, so that you will understand fully well what He is saying. When He's telling you to put sea salt at the edge of every building, every corner of your home, He will show you that. And you are going to see Him dropping the sea salts at the strategic positions where He is telling you to drop them. God is not just telling us just by mere mouth. As He's talking to you, He will open your eyes, your spiritual eyes, for you to see that thing that He is telling you. It is just like you watching a cinema and somebody explaining that cinema, that movie for you. That is how it is. And that's the reason why I like God. He doesn't teach and you don't understand. It's not possible. whatsoever he says, you must understand it. He will give you that spirit for you to understand. So I'm going to see us probably by next week, by the special grace of God. I'm going to see us next week. And until then, I want to say thank you so much. God bless you, and bye.